Hello and welcome to EXT37 Mono. Today we are going to open up some parcels that I've received over the last few weeks, and they're all old 8-bit computers. Now, one of them's a ZX Spectrum, I know, and that is something that I've already shown on the channel and we've already explored, but we'll have a look at this one as well and we'll test it out to make sure it works. So let's get started. Okay, so the first parcel that I've got is a ZX Spectrum. It's in its original box, which is in very good condition. It's very neat and very tidy. I've also got a shoebox here full of all of the odd bits that went with it, including manuals and some games. So what we'll do first is we'll have a look at this little shoebox, and then we'll get on to the Spectrum itself and have a quick look over it. We won't get it started just yet because I want to open up all the parcels first. Okay, so inside the box we have the ZX Spectrum and Peripherals catalogue from January 1984. And as you can see here, if at any point you see anything that you'd like to have copies of put on the internet, if they don't exist, then just give me a shout and I will get that done. The cover's actually dusty. So inside the catalogue we've got a photograph of the ZX Spectrum itself, 2 games, I guess, and also some drives as well. An interface box which allows you to plug the joysticks and the printer in. Some examples of education software on the first page, more education software on the second page, more education software on the third page, language and utilities, so it looks a bit like programming languages, business and household, so this looks like this is this is some sort of 3D CAD software, VU 3D. We've also got calc file, so I'm guessing that's a database application. Business accounts. Some of these prices are really good though, £9.95 for a bit of software. Personal adventure games, games of strategy and skill, arcade games. Okay, do you know what? Actually, it's a really nicely laid out catalogue. The font's nice. It's actually quite modern considering 1984 this was made. It wouldn't surprise me to find something like this today. Peripherals that you can get for, or could get for the ZX Spectrum, and then that's it. Okay, now we've got a book on the basic programming of the ZX Spectrum. Basic being the language, not basic as in easy. Here's the introduction book. It tells you how to plug it in, how to get started on it. And one of the great things about this package that I've got here with the Spectrum is the software that I've got. All of these cassette tapes. I've got Discover What It Is Like to Be an Animal in the Wild. There's also Scrabble. Make a Chip is a very interesting piece of software. I'd be fascinated to try and play this. Have a look and see what it's like. Checkered Flag. Now that has to be a racing game. I don't know what this is. Chess. Well, there's not really a lot to say about chess, is there? Horace goes skiing. Oh, that looks exciting. So let's unbox the Spectrum itself. And here is the box. I want to be really gentle with this because I don't want to damage such a fine conditioned box. I'd say everything about Sinclair and the marketing and the design, it's also modern. It just really, for a 1980s company, it's really stood the test of time. The original guarantee from Sinclair. Date of purchase was the 23rd of October 1984. The ZX printer has been withdrawn from production. No further units will be manufactured by Sinclair Limited. Interesting. So in 1984 they withdrew the ZX printer, probably because it was crap. That's still something I've got that I want to try out. This is genuinely really good condition, this ZX Spectrum. It's neat, it's clean. I can't see a single scratch on it. Bit of hair, bit of dust. Not even that much dust. I just wanted to go and get my other Sinclair Spectrum, or ZX Spectrum, sorry, just to compare it, because there's a difference I've noticed, that we have white writing for ZX Spectrum compared to the other one which has black writing on it. I don't know if this is lighter as well, or if that's just my imagination. No, they're probably about the same. Okay, so now on to the next package. Hotel Chocolat. I suspect it's not chocolate. Okay, and inside we have another Sinclair. This time it's the ZX81. From what I can tell, it's almost impossible to type on this, because I cannot even feel the pressure. Oh god, that must be horrible. Time will tell. What else do we have in here? We have the cable for the cassette tape audio, the power cable, which is very similar to that of the ZX Spectrum. I don't actually know if they use the same power. Okay, well, no, apparently not. They've got a different jack on the end. Some slightly older books now as well. So we have a ZX81, the heart of a system that grows with you. I like the way it's got the printer there as well. The discontinued printer by the time we get to the ZX Spectrum from 1984. And there's our opportunity here to mail in an order for the ZX81 Learning Lab, the RAM pack, or the printer. The software catalogue from 1982 for the ZX81. Now here we just have a list of games as opposed to any photos. Again, the design of has really stood the test of time. I really, from a artistic perspective, I think this is really, not that I have any artistic ability, but it does look fantastic, I think. And here is the ZX81 Basic Programming. Steve Vickers, he is the guy that wrote the basic for this, I believe. So he wrote this book as well. This was the second edition by the looks of it, from 1981. Their marketing and art design team was fantastic. This is so aesthetically pleasing. And that's the bottom of the box, so fantastic. And now, the last package. I won't dig too deep with the knife. Now this is something that I used to own as a child. Not specifically this one, obviously. I should think that is now a car. Or part of the car. Or maybe a table. Wow. Oh, ho, 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 ho. There she is. The Amstrad CPC 464. Looks like the eject button doesn't work. Now these were actually powered from the monitor, and the monitor plugs into this little DIN connector, and obviously there's a port for the I used to have one of these. It was a green screen, not the colour monitor, sadly. It looks like somebody's wedged something in there to be able to open up the... It's a bit of a shame, but never mind. So, on a later video, what I'll do is I will have a go at getting this hooked up and on, and we'll see if we can get any life out of it. But until then, that's all of the packages open.